All right, breaking news coming in from France, where President Emmanuel Macron is facing mounting pressure to resign amid a deepening political crisis. Macron's allies, including former Prime Ministers Eduardo Philippe and Gabriel Attal, have publicly expressed their disappointment with the president's leadership, with Philippe calling for Macron to step down to break the deadlock. The far-right National Rally Party, led by Marine Le Pen, is also urging Macron to resign, advocating for snap legislative elections. And the reason is that Emmanuel Macron's fourth Prime Minister has resigned. There is a political crisis in France, and let's go to Qatar for more on this. Fourth Prime Minister resigning in just a year. Qatar, and very little wiggle room, as one would say, available for Emmanuel Macron. You think he's going, you think he would go. He was seen walking alone along the Seine River in Paris, contemplating what to do.
Indeed, and it's an extreme deadlock that has come into the French parliament ever since the 2024 snap elections that were announced by French President Emmanuel Macron, where he lost the control of the parliament and an hung assembly came into France, which has led to a severe deadlock. Now, the fifth Prime Minister, in fact, resigning since that time. There are about 170 seats, Abhishek, which are with the left-wing New Popular Front coalition, along with 180 with the far-right National Rally, as you were rightly mentioning, and there has been a complete deadlock. Now, what happened in the last 24 hours is that a new cabinet was announced by the then incumbent Prime Minister of France, that was Sébastien Lecornu, which just hours after the cabinet was announced had to resign and step back because the coalition partners were demanding very severe concessions. The entire fragmentation in the French parliament at the moment is on the 2026 budget, which is unable to pass at the moment because of a complete deadlock in the French parliament. And now voices from the right of the French parliament are rising, calling for a resignation from French President Emmanuel Macron, who cannot dissolve the parliament right away. And there are concerns about how his snap election bid in 2024 has led to this entire political turmoil that we have seen subsequently in the last 12 months, and following which now there are rising calls for French President Emmanuel Macron to step down almost 2 years before his term is officially expected to end. And this deadlock is only increasing. We have seen protesters descending on the streets of Paris and in France in various cities, and we have seen various protests also turn a bit violent in various pockets. However, it is a series of political turmoil now that has erupted, and complete state of uncertainty. French President Emmanuel Macron has once again, in fact, called on Lecornu to recalibrate his approach with the coalition and come up with a new cabinet bid in the next 2 days if he can. But if this deadlock does not settle, Abhishek, the future of French democracy at the moment stands at a very difficult crossroads. Is either a dissolution of parliament at the earliest opportunity or resignation of French President Emmanuel Macron on the cards. Back to studio.
Right, crossroads for democracy or not, but definitely crossroads for Emmanuel Macron there in France. Moving on and back home, another breaking development coming in. Remember, Election Commission announced polls for the Bihar Assembly